visual management. It is used as an encompassing word, an umbrella, and it is not. Managing itself is a function that is quite restricted. But I'm going to make the point this way. What I'm going to show you is the difference between visual management and visuality or visual performance. This is a sign. It's two-dimensional on the streets in the United States. And it tells me what the right behavior is. It doesn't in any way make me do it. It doesn't guarantee that I'm going to do it, but I can measure it by the number of kids and pets that get hurt on that street. The sign didn't work. And when it doesn't work enough, we increase the power of the information. But the message is the same. The message is slow down. And we do it this way, through a speed bump. That makes me do it. That takes my choice away. That device embeds the right behavior. Now, I may be willing to sacrifice my McPherson struts on the first speed bump, but in the United States, they come in pairs. So you've got to make that decision twice. Okay, I'm going to give up my speed bumps. Bam, bam. It's your choice. Telling and making. Visual management is about telling. Visuality, workplace visuality, is about making, embedding the information, the vital information, operational information that we need into the living dynamic landscape of work. I want to show you where visual management fits on the spectrum of visual functionality. And I use these words to make you understand that visuality functions. It isn't just a pretty device. It is truly there for a purpose, and only to the extent that it fulfills that purpose is it complete. And so in visuality, we have actually a hierarchy of power levels, which I think we may have time to get to today. So I want to show you this spectrum of visual functionality, the visual workplace continuum. So I'm using visuality and visual workplace interchangeably because they're umbrella names. And then I'm going to spot for you where visual management comes in, only so that my belief is, and my own experience is, if I have the right words and use the right words, I get the right concept and I can learn from there. But if I start with the wrong words, my learning is stopped by the constraint of my understanding of those words. So when we talk about a continuum, a visual continuum, we're talking about a business that goes through a transformation from startup to completely transformed business. This is what the companies have experienced who have asked us to go through a visual conversion. Some of them can do it on their own. They're sharp enough, and they're also dogged enough. They're determined. They stay in place. But we've also helped many companies. The cultural piece, that's the money piece. The cultural piece is going from randomness and instability to a growing stability, and finally embedded performance, and then finally high performing and driven. And for those of you who are executives in our group today, you're interested in the driven part. You're interested in the high performance, self-driven, the self-leadership of your organization. That's where you're going, I am sure. Here are the categories of visual function. There are about 8 of them. I want you to notice these pieces in the center that says synergies of the previous. That means these guys work together and they move us up the scale. These work together, and this is enterprise-wide synergies. But let's just look at them. There's another construct that I use to explain this. Some of you may know the 10 doorways. We'll look at that in a moment. But this is put horizontally, so you can see a kind of progression through the spectrum, the light spectrum. I want you to notice where visual management is. Right there. It is there. It is as vital as any other piece that you see here. but it is not the whole thing. And if you call it the whole thing, just by mistake, it's okay. Then you are automatically excluding the other refinements that are going to help you so much. Operator-led visuality. This is a highly amplified 5S, hardly a trace of so-called 5S, but still it is what the operators contribute to the environment, to the workplace, to operations, visual displays, visual scheduling for your supervisors, visual standards, which is the bedrock of your organization. And it's very hard to do at the very beginning. Better groom the workplace. That's why it's place number 3. And by the way, this is not a lockstep progression. This is a hypothetical or theoretical progression. This is not even idealized. You begin where you need to begin. You can begin with visual management as long as you know there are 7 other functions that you need to move to if you want to utilize the power of visuality. If you stay with visual management, well, that's what this presentation is about. I will tell you what you get. So because I'm feel pretty comfortable in this field, very comfortable, I assigned each of these a value in order to bring home the point a little bit more, that each contributes, and even the synergies contribute. Here we have 4%, here we have 7% for the synergies of the previous methodologies or functionalities working together. And you see that I gave visual management a 10%. That is a generous 10%. I gave the importance of operator-led visuality 12%, pull systems 12%, quality 12%, visual displays and visual scheduling, which I adore, I gave it reluctantly 8%, but I had to find some points for visual management. I love visual management, but he's not the only kid on the block, and you need to know that.